TLC thing with the chili voting for the voting for Republican. And yes, we had majority of the black community as Democrats, and y'all know my stance on that. I just feel like, you know, though me personally, I'm not gonna vote anymore. Though I'm not gonna vote no more, I'm not gonna put that on anyone else and say, well, this what's happening to me is not fair, and nobody's listening and nobody's writing back. And I believe that, this we just been fooled, and these are my beliefs. I'm not gonna have someone else to not vote. But what I will say, the Democrat Party does not care about the black community, and and the fact that so many of black people wanted to take their tickets back because of somebody with their own like what I don't understand my own when it comes to politics and Democrat and Republican. Why do our black community get so upset when they find out black people have voted Democrat? That's their belief, and can't nobody take my black card away from me. You come in, you spend a day with me, you gonna be like Shanika, blacker than black, blackity black black black. You can't get no blacker than Shanika. Shanika ain't trying to be no other race. Last year when sometimes I was feeding a car full of dudes some chicken wings out of a car at a red light. Like, you can't get no blacker than that. They seen it because that was when the helicopters was right on me. Right on me. And you can't get no blacker than that. But I'm saying that, my voter's card is not going to change. It's, Republican. And it's going to always be Republican, though I'm not going to vote no more. Though I'm out of it. But I don't believe the Democrat Party care about us. I can take y'all around a Democrat community, and that's every inner city in Baltimore, right? And they have the Democrats, and they got it all in their window and all that stuff. And let me tell you, the communities are so piss poor. These people, if anybody from Baltimore, remember the Democrat mayor we had, not Sheila Dixon, but the drunken one. I forget her name. The tall, skinny one, right? She was like, she was Democrat. She came because she was like, I want to know why all the, there's so many vacant houses, right? Why all these vacant houses? And I want to go in the inner cities, and I want to take a look at the inner cities and see what's going on with these vacant houses. And she forgot the camera was off, right? What's her name? Pooh. Something Pooh. Y'all know who I'm talking about if y'all from Baltimore. And she forgot the cameras was still rolling, right? And she forgot she had her speaker on. She was like, get me out of this funky neighborhood. Oh, it stinks. Get me out of here. Man, that made news, right? And everybody was talking about it. But I wasn't shocked. By then, I was already, starting to, this wasn't happening to me then, though. But I was just starting to look around like, wait a minute, something ain't right. Something is not right when it comes to the Democratic Party. And I even told y'all about how, before this was going on with me. This was going on with me, and, you said Democrat. What I say to the girl? Catherine Pooh, y'all. That Catherine Pooh, she was a Democrat. She was a Democrat. I don't know what I said. I think I had made a mistake and said something. She was a Democrat, and she came to the hood, to the ghettos, and wanted to see why in the ghettos, why all these vacant vacant homes that's empty, and she wanted to start seeing how if she can just start making them cheap and have people buying them and hook them up. I think I said she was a Democrat. I don't know. What did I say? It's okay. Okay, but yeah, Fox 45, and but yeah, and she was like, get me out of this neighborhood. It stinks. These people stink. And I'm like, and she was a Democrat. And guys, all the Democrats, if this black Democrats is on right now, and I'm not talking about these rich celebrities that I No, they're not Democrat. They are just paid to tell y'all they cannot go against the grain. They have to keep us controlled. They have to keep us controlled. So you take notice, the ones who you take notice, all these celebrities that are that are Republicans, they keep quiet. They'd rather not say nothing. But the ones who do voice their opinions, they say they Democrats, like the Beyoncés and all these celebrities that y'all look up to. They know what they doing, y'all. I'm telling y'all some good stuff. Wake up, America. They know what they doing. Beyonce she was not raised no Democrat. She was not raised in the hood. She was not raised poor. She was raised middle class. Her mother and father, her mother had a beauty salon, a business, guys. Her father was into insurance. Like these celebrities, they faking, they phony. Beyonce don't know about poverty. She was just, when she was put here, that's what the game is. You gotta say you Democrat. Her husband was benefiting off the Trump PPA. I wish I would have known about them daggone things. Everybody, I know got them things, them PPO loans or PPA loans, whatever they call that Trump was giving out. Her husband benefited off of that. The lady who run Rock Nation, Desiree Perez, Trump cleared her from her charges. Guys, these people, and her husband was getting those loans for his companies. Y'all black people, wake up. So back to what I was talking about. You go in these black communities, the poor black communities, right? And you see, like the community I'm in now, a lot of these people are mixed. They Republicans and Democrats, because when you look at the windows, you see Democrat and Republicans. This, of course, I'm in this neighborhood all the time, but the signs are up. But you see how clean it is. You see, now you go into the ghettos, the Cherry Hills, the Brooklyns, and you see Democrats everywhere, busted up windows, busted it. Like, these people don't care about you. Look at the mayor that we're in, the mayor that run the city now. I've been telling y'all about, I know I shared a video that somebody did on him a while ago, but I've been telling y'all about this mayor for months. So I think since 10/10/24, guys, the Democrats don't care nothing about you. They only care about y'all money. I even told y'all on one of my lives a while ago that I was writing somebody, right? What's his name? I forget his name. He passed away, right? He was I was writing him about my brother that was locked up, right? Because they wasn't treating my brother, like my brother was going through a lot, like at one point in time in jail, right? And I wrote him, and he wrote me back. I forget his name. A senator. He passed away, but he told me I got bigger fish to fry. He didn't even want to hear my story, just because my brother was locked up, and not even looking at, hey, I even told them, like, hey, family members go through things. I mean, family, you have some loved ones go through things, but I'm not a criminal, never been locked up. If you can just hear my story, he like, I don't have time, and he was a Democrat. And I remember writing, it was I told y'all about this too, before the governor, what's daughter girl, you still on, what's the governor that I had wrote, and he had shut that up. He was a Republican, and he didn't see eye to eye with Trump though, right? But he got that, and I didn't even know, but it was I didn't even expect him to get the place shut down. So my mom, before she moved, she was living on this quiet area, quiet neighborhood, right? And Governor Larry Hogan, that's my boy. Yup, thanks to the girl, Governor Larry Hogan. He Republican, right? Before he's not a Republican no more. We got a Democrat, right? Which none of them, all the Democrats didn't write me back. But I'm not even gonna go there because none of the Republicans wrote me back. But Governor Larry Hogan. So my mother, retired people, quiet block, beautiful block. So across the street was a big old building, and that building from the beginning for years, since like let me move that, I want y'all to see the beautiful view. Since like the early 90s, it was a very high class, sophisticated. Like, it wasn't them rinky dink car shops. It was a high class car shop, right? Very clean, and it was across the street. And it was so big. It was a big building right across the street, and on the other side was row homes, like a good eight row homes, right? Nice block, never had trouble, and the person sold it. So it was some Jamaicans. They sold it, and that place was vacant for a long time. So somebody brought it, and when they brought it, they made it like this poetry. He turned it into like this poetry thing, right? Where people come during the daytime and they do the poetry, and when you like something, you snap your hands, because he invited me, right? Well, this nigga, and y'all, this nigga, let me tell y'all, I'm black, I can say nigga. Y'all take notice how the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans, like how Cardi B and them, they ain't black, but they say nigga more than black people. Like, they say nigga more than us. Like, come on. They want to be black so bad. I was like, somebody had said that on, somebody had sent me what you call it, meme. I was crazy. They said it never seemed. Look, somebody giving me hearts. Is that you doing the girl? Like, somebody said it never seems to amaze me that. No, did y'all ever notice that Mexicans, Latinas, and Cubans and everybody, like, they say nigga more than black people? And the first thing I thought about was Fat Joe and Cardi B. I said, if they ain't lying, if they ain't telling the truth. But back to the story though, right? So he was giving parties and stuff. This nigga turned it into a whole club. I mean, I would go check on my mother. It wouldn't be nowhere to park. I would have to park in the middle of the street. And then when people, and I'm not parking around the corner. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. So I park in the middle of the street. Now, this was before, the surveillance, when Shanika was the loudmouth Shanika, curse you out, right? So I'm like, I'm parking in the middle of the street. And they be like, wait a minute, what you doing? Who is this parking in the minute? And he knew me. Oh, he knew me real good. So he like, look, chill, just don't say nothing. Here they go, no. So the girl come out, was like, so I laid her out something so bad. She moved her car and apologized, and he apologized. But make a long story short, so it was getting to the point where the club, it was starting to be fights, and it was just crazy, starting to be crazy. And these people, my mother block was a row home full of retired elderlies, right? I could not make this up. I called everybody. Like, I wrote everybody. Nobody respond. I wrote Governor Larry Hogan. And all this is through email. This is at the time it was through email, right? I wrote Governor Larry Hogan, Republican governor. Mind you, before then I wrote the mayor's office. I didn't title the mayor's office, title his name, so I don't even know if the mayor got it. But I wrote the mayor's office, everybody, right? And these Democrats would not respond. I said, it's getting to be ridiculous. They shooting around there on the block. They getting into fights. Police is coming, and it's just getting really crazy. And these retired people, and they don't want to say nothing. They don't want to, more like, I don't want to get nobody involved. We never called the police, though. We never called the police. We just wrote officials. Don't you know, Governor Larry Hogan assistants responded and said, we will take care of it. I did not know how fast he was going to take care of it. They came next day. It was a man at the door. He had to show license. He had to, because they were serving drinks and all this illegally, right? They had to show drinks, and I mean, they had to show, their license. They didn't have license to be having a bar. It was like a whole full club, right? And he was doing it illegally, right? Don't you know they shut that down? To this day, that thing is still shut down. I was shocked. I did not know that it was gonna go that far, right? but I felt good to know that I protected these elderlies, because nobody else was doing it. These people it was like starting to be like this. First, it was all nice with the little poetry It was like he would have it from 4 to 8. He done turned it from 8 to 2 in the morning. It got crazy. And then you heard the club music thumping, and it was just crazy. The people who lived around there, they couldn't even park. If they wasn't home at a certain time, at Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they could not park. It was just crazy. But Governor Larry Hogan, he is a Republican, and he got that place. He said, no worries, we will look into it. And I remember asking him, I said, who was that man that was with the suit? He said, somebody that called and said we doing something illegal. I said, oh yeah, yeah. Oh, they did? Oh, wow. But yeah, guys, I am here at my favorite store. I had went and got my eyebrows arched. Y'all want to see? Oh, I only got 2 likes. I ain't gonna let y'all see. I only got 2 likes. But yeah, guys, so I hope all is well. And yeah, so to the person who said you know, whatever about Trump, y'all gotta understand, y'all have to stop being divided. That's what the government want. Do y'all know it's a and I never thought I'd talk like this. It's a government over top of Trump that hate their own people. Guys, they hate their own people. They're corrupt. You have to understand, y'all. We are living in America. And then I even went back on my live, because I didn't see it at first, but I went back and I watched my live, and I watched, you know, and I like to see the comments. And somebody has said, you know, when I say America has gone down, and somebody said, it was a comment that said, well, has it always been like that? We just was asleep. And it made me think. I thought about one of my brother's best friend to this day, Juan Lee, not my oldest brother, but my second oldest brother, his best friend. And he used to always talk like this, and I used to thought like he was so crazy. So yeah, and the person said maybe it always been like this, but we was just, you know, sleep. And I see what she mean, or that person meant, but I really believe that and I see what she mean, and I can say yeah, because you got to think, my brother best friend Juan Lee always was saying the same thing like that I talk about today. And then when I do all this research and I hear all this stuff, you know, about how corrupt the government is, and then what's happening to me, guys, what's happening to me that I don't know what's going on, right? And it's been going on for 5 years now. You know, it makes you think like, but something is not right. America is not what it used to be. America is not what it used to be. And then we have Trump in the chair. This is not the President Trump that we once knew. And I look at Trump and I'm like, you know, do he want his legacy? Because I always knew that and that's why Trump got my vote, because, you know, I knew he was you know, against wars, and even though, you know, you know, this war is going on, and this back and forth is going on or whatever, and I used to say he's against wars, but you got to also think about all the other presidents that did wars and you know, and called for a war. But it's like, of course, when Trump do it, it makes world news. But it's so many presidents, you know, called for war, and you know, but of course, when he do it, he makes like news. But I will say this, you know, I was one of those ones that say, you know, he is you know, he's anti-war, and plus he's so, you know, he's so proud that he ain't gonna walk away and have a name that he was a horrible president. But then when I look now, I'm like, do he understand he's gonna have like his name is gonna be tainted, you know, with Republicans? It's Republicans that is starting to be like, wait a minute, what's going on? Even when I know some people that, you know, people that voted for him that was not worried about the war, like, okay, every president, you know, he's not the first, he's not going to be the last that will say, you know, he's, you know, who will call for war. But they was really upset about that picture that he recently did. You know, that was like the deal breaker, like, okay, I don't know what's going on with him, because no God-fearing person, somebody who believe in Christ, will do who will play a picture like, who will put themselves in a picture like that. You see what I'm saying? So somebody who really fear God, and I talked about that so many times with these celebrities, how they have put on like the devil suits and all this stuff and just make mockeries. And just like, if you fear the Lord, if you say you're God fearing and you love God like you say you do, you're not going to put on no devil suit. I don't care how much money somebody's offering you. But whatever, guys. But yeah, so I mean, it's just, I don't know what's going on. But I will say, I'm not voting again. I will say the Democrat Party don't care. The black people have to stop trying to be divided, or trying to put that girl Chili. And I never was a TLC. I mean, of course I loved the TLC in that time, but I never was like a stone cold fan of them. My mother was. Oh my goodness, my mother used to buy their albums literally. But yeah, so the fact that people is putting her down, why can't y'all, okay, she voted Republican, she's a Republican, why can't y'all still buy her tickets if y'all want? Why y'all gotta say, well, she Republican? Like, the black community, we gotta do better. We gotta do better and stop hating on somebody because they decide to go decide to be Republican. If your daughter or if your son came and said, okay, I'm gay, you're gonna hate them, you're gonna turn on them? I mean, come on. That's their choice. That's their choice. You cannot hate on Chili or any other black person because they say they are Republican. That's their choice, and the government is sitting back laughing because they know that they don't care. What I see now, I feel like none of them care, but they know that the Democrat Party does not care. And then look at it like this, guys. I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna get off this subject. What if Kamala Harris would have been? What if Kamala Harris would have been the president of the United States? Do y'all understand when she would go around when she was going around saying she wanted to do what have been or what has been? Remember that quote she used to always say? She was pretty much saying that she wanted to, her whole plan was to bring, that's why they kept the border open. Their whole plan was to bring the Mexicans and Latinos over to America, to make them the minorities, to take over the jobs, and the low paying jobs like the fast food jobs and stuff. She was doing a great job at it. She even gave them reparations, guys. Her whole plan was to wipe out the black people, to not have them. She was pretty much, we was getting ready to be a thing of the past. If that lady would have became the president of the United States, it would have been a LGBTQ America. And again, guys, I'm saying I have them in my family. I don't hate the LGBTQ, but they was making them the priority. Even people, yeah, she was, thank you, daughter girl, she wanted to make them the new minorities. Do y'all understand this? Like right now, it would have been, they would have taken over. Even during the elections, it was so many Mexicans moving on my block. So many Mexicans and Latinas moving on my block. The block I'm on now, they're gone right now. Even before I moved the house that I was living in for 20 some years, it was I had a corner neighbor that had about 50 people living with them, and I shout out to their culture for that. They know how to stick together and save money and keep it in the family. And and I will say this, they lived on a corner house. After the corner house, it was a regular neighbor, which we was, matter of fact, the lady who if y'all watch any in all my lives, I was invited to somebody's house on Thanksgiving. So I was not friendly with these people, because when I tell y'all, they was so dirty. They was just like dirty. They was one of those ones who had they brought their bed and their front room set and stuff out on a porch, and they they all partied and all, they just hung on a porch, and it would just be so dirty, and then the mattress would be dirty. Then when the kids finished playing with the mattress, they'd throw it on the side of because they lived on a corner house, they'd throw it on the side of the, you know, the corner house, on the side of the houses, because they lived on the corner of my row homes that the house that I was living for 20 plus years. And it was just like, and I was like, you know what, y'all got to do something. I stayed knocking on their door. Well, the lady, the mother, the head of the household lady, she got on her feet. Her husband do construction work. They opened up a little business, right? So they opened up a little business, and he fixed homes, and she do the cleaning up. A whole business. When I tell you, the lady who we know, the one who invited me to me and my family to her house on Thanksgiving, every month those Mexicans, no, I think they was Latinas. One of them, they wasn't black. They was Mexicans, Latinas, or they was one of them. They send her $500 a month just because she was very considerate to them. She was feeding them. She, like, pretty much when they first came there, she opened her door. And she didn't mind, you know, them making a mess and having trash, and kids would just be running up and down. They made that whole block trashy. They had like 19 kids living in that house, right? And it was crazy, but they doing good for themselves. And she sent that lady $500 a month. The husband and wife is doing good. They came here. They was in Louisville, I guess, just coming here. Or maybe that maybe because it was around the time they got that when the vice president at the time, Kamala, gave all them reparations, so they probably started their business that time. But they doing really well for themselves, living in a nice big home. All the older kids work for them. They got like this big business. Yeah, she was telling me doing when I went over there for Thanksgiving. So I was shocked. I was like, oh, wow. But I always knew that she gave she looked out for her. But I didn't know, that it was that much. So, they making good money. Just giving her $500 just because she never forgot. And she did tell her when she moved, she said, I'll never forget you. But back to what I'm saying about Kamala. She was trying to make this America a Mexican Latina nation. And that's why they had those borders open. That's why they was giving them free homes. That's why they was giving them free income, free food stamps. I remember I was at Walmart. Me and my daughter girls, you still on? Remember we went to Walmart? And it was filled with Mexicans and stuff. And I asked the cashier, and they had their those Moroccan things, and they was all going through the aisle, shaking them Moroccan things, and them big old straw hats. And I said, well, what's going on? Is a parade or something? She said, no. Okay, I never get the cashier said no. They just got a big old check. I was so shocked. That whole Walmart was filled with them. So, to all the black people who's on here and saying that, trying to be mad at a black person because they don't want to vote Democrat, that is absurd. I mean, because they don't want to vote Democrat and decide to say, wait a minute, let me try Republican for once. Because when I look around, I see that the Democrat Party don't care about us. This spray painting everywhere is a mess everywhere. It's trash everywhere in the inner cities. Let me try something different. You know what I mean? So I'm saying all that to say, if a black person want to become a Republican for whatever their reasons, let them. You don't have to hate. You don't have to. That's their choice. That is their personal choice. And now I see why one of my teachers used to always say, which I don't care. I tell people I'm Republican. I talk about religion. But I see why they say never talk about religion or Democrats, because never talk about religion or politics, because people will get so emotional. And it's only the black community. It's only the black community. You tell a white person or a non-black person that you're a Democrat, they're not going to get upset. They're not even going to try to ask you why. Tell me why you're a Democrat. Like, oh, okay, okay. Since I've moved, since I've moved. Well, that's irrelevant. I was going to talk about this landlord, but yeah. But it's only the black community, so we got to do better. And if you ask me, guys, I don't think that this stuff even matters. If you look around, you see like none of we've been bamboozled. Like they just the president been putting this in the chair, at the top of America for us to just to be divided. But they don't even have say so, if you ask me. But yeah, guys, we just gotta stop just being so mean. And it's only the black people. And if y'all only know y'all favorite celebrities are Republicans. I can guarantee y'all that. I can guarantee y'all that. Oh yeah, my daughter said yeah, they was partying. That they had that daggone Walmart lit, and they said they got reparations. The cashier said they got some type of big check. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget. She said they was bumping into. Oh, it was a mess. They was bumping into me, wasn't even saying excuse me, like pretty much telling me you're in my way. So just imagine if y'all vice president would have became president, y'all would have been. I'm telling y'all, she would have smeared poop all in y'all faces, and like this country would have been, they would have been running this country. And y'all see it even with now with the fast foods. When you look around, it's all Mexicans or Latinas. So just and when she was the VP, it was really crazy. I remember they was one guy. I even told y'all how this Mexican ran me over. And you know what else, guys? I was getting ready to go somewhere about the guy, and this is just my experience. And guys, y'all know when I tell y'all that when I say that the government, when I say the government is so wicked, I really believe that a lot of the government, y'all got to understand how wicked our government is. And I never thought I'd be talking like this. I remember, and y'all know I always talk about how, things that I go through that I don't tell y'all, right? I remember, and this is when I was working, and y'all knew I worked at night shifts. So I worked at 11 to 7. I'm at 3 to 11, and sometimes I work 11 to 7, but I would get off at 11 o'clock and get home about like 11:20. And every night, so before I even tell y'all, this is something that I that I didn't tell y'all. When I always talk about is things that I tell y'all that I know that goes on behind the scenes that I don't tell y'all. So it was this little Mexican guy, right? And I just thought he just moved in the neighborhood. I thought he just moved in my neighborhood, the neighborhood I'm in now, and maybe for like, daughter girl, you still on? Because I remember coming home. So I said, this is guy always outside. So I'm going to tell y'all this story. Every day I will pull up. He'll walk or he'll ride down. And it's very dark on my block at night. And I don't park on my block. I park on the side of my block. Because, by the time I get off, everybody home. So, it's really hard to park. So I'll park on the side. It was a Mexican, and I never knew he was Mexican. Never knew he was Mexican or Latina, because in my job, so if y'all know, if I got fired in January, so this was around about November-ish. It was cold, so it was like November, October, November, December, somewhere around that. And he just started popping up, and he would always just be on his bike riding fast, or he would walk. And I said, well, wow, maybe. And first I would just speak to him. He would always just put his hand up. Always had a mask on. I wasn't scared. Always had a mask on. One of those shiesty masks. If you're not black on here, look up shiesty masks and you'll see. So he always had on one of those. So I and all black. Lots of y'all now. He always had on all black Oh, hey, daughter girl. So I'm telling them, you know what I'm going to tell them about the Mexican guy. He looked like he's about 17, 18. Always had on black sweatpants, a black coat, because it was the wintertime. Every time I got out of my car, guys, he would just be on cue. He'd just put his hand up, Then, maybe 2 weeks later, he would start speaking. Hi, and at night now. At night. And guys, this before I didn't even know, about gang stalking or psychological warfare. Mind y'all just know I told y'all about psychological warfare like earlier this year, February-ish sometime. So that somebody told me that's what the government is trying to do to me. So every night, guys. So this was just end of last year, and I said, now he maybe like the third week, guys. I mean, like the second month. The second month, I started. First, it used to be like, oh, hey, hi. And I'm not scared on all black. He always be right. If he on a bike, he driving. He's going real fast on a bike. If he's walking real fast. He had a backpack on, and I'm thinking he's coming in from work. So, guys, I lied to y'all not. My daughter's still on here, y'all. She know I'm not lying. I already told her. So, and I even before that even happened, I even told her. I said, it's this guy. I said he's always speaking to me. He's a really nice guy. One day during the daytime, out of all them, like the whole month, I would just see him at night. I seen him one day. Me and my daughter was going to her car. So he was walking to her car, and I said, that go to one. He had on all black. Still had on all black. Daytime. It was still cold, so I give him the pass. Shicey mask on. He spoke to me. And my daughter said, okay. I said, that's the one be speaking to me. He just put his hands out. But the second month or the fourth week, I got taught. I said, I'm tired of being excited. Like, hey, how you doing? So I'm starting to be annoyed now, because I'm like, every single day, something not right. Something not right. Why is this guy coming up to me close range too? Like his car would, like if I, all right, he'd be so close driving past my car. If I get out and open the door, it would hit him. But that's how close he would be, but he'll already speak once I got out walking to the car, guys. So listen to this. This is creepy, y'all. So this before I found out it was gang stalking. So the highs back, the how you doing back, or hey, how you, it started getting less and less. He started seeing I was getting annoyed. Then it got to the point where I stopped speaking to him. Then it got to the point where, because this was every single day. Same guy, guys. I lied to y'all not. I wish I could make this up. This is the America we living in. So, the last night I said, look, stop speaking to me. I said just like that. I said, look, stop speaking to me. Just like that. That's what he said. Now, mind you, I know you like, okay, well, how you know that, if he had on all this shicey, how you know that he was Mexican? He had a shicey, you see everything covered but their eyes. It was in the wintertime, so he had a shicey on, had a coat on, hood on, every night. No, I wasn't scared. Backpack, because he was always fat. Now, if he was walking up slow, then I'd be bracing myself like, okay. But he always was on a mission, always fast. And it was starting to, he was waving his hands, he always went. So the last night, guys, when I said, stop talking, I said, look, stop speaking to me. Don't, guess what he said to me? Shanika, mommy, why you don't want me to speak to you no more, Shanika, mommy? Y'all, he was saying it on a bike. I lied to y'all not. This is the stuff I go through, right? Y'all, I said, what is the government trying to do? What is going on, y'all? I cannot make this stuff up. I wish I can, but I can't. The government is crooked. Y'all, if I didn't know God, I would go crazy. I'm so thankful I know God. He keeps me. And then, of course, being a Shanika that I am. It's like, I put it all on God. I take that. God forgive me. But he raised me to be me. I'm me, and I thank God for being me. So God know what I mean by that. Like, if it was anybody else, it would drive them crazy, would drive them freaking insane, guys. And I came in the house. What I tell you, daughter girl? Don't you know that boy I tell you that speak to me every night? That's all. He spoke my name. He said, guys, if God is my witness, y'all know I don't play with God. I always don't understand how people can play with God and use his name if they know he lying. If they know they lying. And at this point, y'all should know I'm not lying. Everything is consistent. I never told y'all about this story, but I always tell y'all so much stuff I go on behind the scenes that I don't tell y'all, and I give y'all little snippets like I'm giving y'all now. After that, I've never seen him again. His job was done. I never seen him again. He worked for the government, guys, and what I was trying to say, the government is wicked, guys. I bet these little kids that's supposed to go, that's here illegally or supposed to go back to their country, I bet the government is using them for wrong. I bet. Now, what was this guy was put here to do? What's he gonna do? But see, God kept me, and something just said, wait a minute, Shanika. He keeps speaking. It's nobody outside. Y'all seen so many times I pull up, come on live when I used to show y'all about the helicopters following me and the airplanes and stuff following me, and y'all see on real time that, that at night it's quiet. There's nobody out on my block at night. After that, guys, he stopped. I've never seen this guy again. The government getting these little kids to do bad. They getting them. They ain't sending them all back. Our government is wicked, guys. They not sending these kids all back. They not sending them back to their country. They working for them. For the wrong. That's why I say I don't believe this. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I do not believe in Baltimore. This stuff, when I ride through Baltimore, the inner cities, and y'all see these daggone graffitis in the inner city, guys, it's not the black people who live here. I grew up, I know, you cannot tell me nothing about a black boy. I know them, raised them. Grew up with them with my brothers, raised them, raised even my nephew friends. These boys ain't running, and I'm not saying they innocent. I'm not saying that the black boys of America is all of them is innocent. You ride, you go in the inner city, you see them hanging on the corners. But they don't do graffiti, guys. They don't. That's not their thing. That's not black people thing to go and do graffiti all over on walls. They just trying to get $1, make $1 out of 15 cents. They're not into that graffiti. That stuff is politics. It's somebody coming into these inner cities trying to make Baltimore look like this. I'm telling y'all, and which the government don't do nothing about it. The government too, but the mayors, the city officials don't care. And the only best Democrat I always say was Sheila Dixon. I always said was Sheila. She was a Democrat, but she was good. You never saw, you seen a graffiti. The next day you see it painted up. It may be white paint on a black wall, but it's painted up. She was the best. And of course I wasn't gonna vote for her again when she got locked up and stuff, but you forgive when you look around and see what she did for America. Yeah, she stole, but that's politics as usual. All these politics is do a little dipping and dabbing, but I will say, if you black, you really gotta be careful, because they is but we're not even gonna get into that. But what I'm saying is, y'all, I'm telling y'all, our government is wicked. It's wicked, guys. It's wicked. That guy, after he said, Shanika, mommy, Shanika, you don't want to speak to me no more, Shanika, mommy. No, it didn't blow my mind. It didn't blow my mind. I went in the house, told my daughter. I said, now what the heck was that about? She said, he said your name. I said, just as clear. And mind you, guys, I didn't tell y'all about it. And like I said, so much. I just don't tell y'all about it. Right now, I want to know why this helicopter is following me. Why is a helicopter following me? What is it that you want from me? Is it bigger? Is it bigger? Did the celebrity really send them? I'm going to get to the bottom of it. If my name not Shanika, I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Like, what is they trying to do? Did they see something? Did they see something in my records when I was a kid, and they seen that I had I don't know what is it? Where they trying to make me go crazy? They trying to make me, like, what? When that boy was saying, when that boy called my name, or when he was coming, and they wanted me to get comfortable with him so much so where one day I let him in my house or what? I don't know. Or even, guys, when I told y'all about, I didn't even, y'all talking about some daggone psychological warfare or gang stalking. When I told y'all about them black boys came on my porch and my brother's like, man, y'all get away from here. And I'm thinking nothing of, after that, I just thought nothing of it, guys. That was gang stalking. These little black boys, I bet they work for the, nothing like that never happened to me, never in my life. For anything, them black little boys respect me. I said, what was that all about? Then they like, no, he came in here. I said, well, how the boy look? He black, he dark skinned. I'm like, mind you, these boys was my nephews, my youngest nephew's age, like between 20 to 30. And none of my nephews are dark. Like my brother, and me and my brother's the only darkest ones in my family. So I'm like, none of my, and the first thing I know about my brother that was already in there, the ones who he told me, y'all roll up out of here. Y'all heard her. Nobody come up in here. What are you talking about? So that's why I said, if y'all probably saying, what is this girl talking about? Y'all gotta watch my lives. I hope it's somebody on here that don't never miss a live. So you can know, like, all this stuff aligns. Guys, and I got all this daggone glitter on me. So I try to so it's this neighbor kid. She buy all these shirts from Temu, where she get all these shirts really cheap. Like she buys so much stuff from Temu, she be getting the shirts for like $2-3, and she'll put glitter on them, and then she'll sell them. And I bought this shirt from her for $10 just to support her. And when I tell y'all glitter all on my face, glitter is all on my face, guys. But yeah, guys, I'm telling y'all, it's bigger. It's bigger. America is, I don't get it. I don't get why America hate their own country. I mean, their own citizens. And like I said, what did Charleston White say? I tell y'all that I remember that. That's even before I even thought about coming back. He said America go corrupt. It was its own government that made them corrupt. But guys, I deleted another thing I want to say. I deleted that post. I deleted the post about that girl when remember I did a video. Like, let me tell you, you can find something on my channel. All my videos age well in my lives. But when I was talking about how I would never date outside of my race, well, I took that video down because my understanding, like, that girl had some skeletons in her closet that we didn't know nothing about. So God bless her, but I don't know. You hear so many stories, like she was an escort. She had another whole life that her parents didn't tell her about. So I just took my post down. That's why I took it down. And yeah, but I wish, she get justice for that, because that was just like so sad. But yeah, guys, but I'm telling you, and like I said, and I wasn't trying to put no other race down. It's just that, and I know so many, not know them personally, but you hear stories of, black men killing their own, killing black women. You hear it all the time. So I'm not saying they are exempt. No, I'm not. But I'm just saying from my experience, it's like we're not gonna get into that. Not when I say from my experience, if y'all seen that live, from what I've saw it, I never dated outside of my race, never. So yeah, guys, so that's why I deleted my last video. I mean, that I deleted that post, but I hope they do get justice with that girl. And oh guys, and Johns Hopkins did respond. They was the first one to respond, and they still are in. They still will be mentioned in my announcement on the 30th, because I already did it. You know, I already did that video, but they did respond, and they, you know, they said that they, it's not even worth talking about it, but they was very respectful. They was very respectful, but I know what I know, and I know what I saw. So, you know, that is going to come out April 30th, noontime. I hope everybody is tuned in. And yeah, and again, what made me do that? Wait, what made me do that? What made me do that? What made me come up with this, when that night when I was really upset. And to this day, guys, to this day, I still feel like that was an attack on me, and that's very rare. That's very rare for me, guys. Very rare for me to feel like that was an attack on me, and I still believe it. And I want to say this to all the ones who still believe that story. To all the ones who still believe that story, unfollow me, unfollow me. Do it, girl, you still on. And to all the ones who believe that story, please unfollow me. Please. That fake story, they should be ashamed of themselves. The whole Rock Nation, Rihanna, aka, you know what, Rihanna should be ashamed of herself. All of them. The government, because they can't do it without the government. And what was I didn't, none of that fazed me, because I told y'all 10 to 24, I was the first one who came and said, guys, it was a whole page. Somebody looked it like me, a whole active page. I don't know how they did it. Made look just like me. Friend requested me. I told y'all all this stuff. You see what I'm saying? So I just believe God will have you understand things backwards, man. And that needed to happen. That fake story needed to come out. Whatever they was trying to, you know, they didn't. Let me tell you, I don't know how long these people been following me, or what, or what's the reason, but I'm one of those ones that will get comfortable real quick and be like, whatever. Like I even told y'all before I got my niece, I'ma just let it happen. And then me seeing my niece sleep, like, no, no. This, I gotta do something. For this, if this don't stop with me, it's gonna go on with everybody. Those airplanes, those aliens, guys, and I know it's too deep for some, but I'm going to say what I know. Those aliens, those airplanes, those UFOs, that what they made it look like airplanes so they can be among us, and citizens won't get like freaked out. Is they for a bigger plan? Is they for to say, you know what, we all going to be assigned to a neighborhood? Like, I don't know. The government is wicked, guys. They're wicked. I don't know, but when I took this little girl, well, that little girl, because she's not with me right now, I said, you know what, and then just even being outside, I had her outside yesterday. It's like those helicopters, y'all, they so disrespectful. And at this point, those people, and I was like, I know they laughing when they laughing at me, saying, look, they thought we was going to stop. And my daughter said, no, ma, I don't think they even have emotions. Whoever and whatever it is, I don't even think they have emotions to even laugh, to say, look, she thought we was gonna stop. We still going around circles with her and her niece. And that made me think, you know what I mean? That really made me think, like, wow. So, this stuff don't just happen by accident. That fake story of Rihanna, where's that girl at? Where is she at? And don't get me wrong, I know the government, like I said, the government, I just told y'all about the Mexican little young guy, I believe, that worked for the government. They should have probably sent him back to his state, but just had, okay, you're going to work for us. Be on demon time for us. Allegedly, I'm just saying my experience. I'm just telling y'all my experience, right? I'm saying all that to say, so I already know that they can get anybody, right? So even if this girl is real, where is she? Why she's not never appearing in court? I just looked her up a few days ago. It said March 26th she appeared in court, but you didn't see her in court. You just seen her lawyer. You see how fake they is? Man, y'all better wake up. Anybody who believe that story, please unfollow me, because this is not the channel for y'all. Y'all not woke yet. Y'all not woke yet. Y'all still sleep. I just watched where FBI gotta turn himself in now because he was a whistleblower. I mean, FBI informant, a whistleblower, talking about how, he was doing crazy things for the government. His wife knew he worked for the government, but she didn't know what. And he would just get calls in the middle of the night. I need you to sit. I need you to be inside this dumpster. Be looking out for somebody inside this dumpster. And she'd come home and she'd be like, so did you have fun? Did you have fun? And he said, I'm smelling like a freaking dumpster right now. Why would you think I'm with a lady? He came forward. He could turn himself in. John Kirkland, or John something. Look him up. The FBI informant, the whistleblower who was telling the crookeds of our government, guys. He might get a phone call 4 or 5 in the morning. I want you stand inside. Go get somebody garbage while they sleep. Go stand in something get ready to take place. I want you stand inside that garbage disposal, because they ain't gonna think about looking in there. You see what I'm saying, man? This is real life, and I don't know what's going on with me, and I wish it wasn't, because this stuff. Of course, I wish it wasn't, right? Who want to be followed and harassed and stalked and don't know why, right? But with all this happening, right, I'm just learning so much about America and its government. Thank you, y'all. Yeah, let me tell you, I sent my daughter that. I said, you gotta check out this story. His name, John Kirk. Y'all look him up. Our government is wicked, guys. Our government is wicked. They can get people they can raise people. This my brother keep calling. They can it's this, man, I can tell y'all some stories. I'd be all day. I would be all day. I'm telling y'all. I don't know why this is going on with me, but I want to know why, and I'm going to find out why, and I'm going to do it in a peaceful way. I'm going to do it in a peaceful way. I ask that America be with me April 30th. And if you're not from America, please tune in. This is to all the people who think America is a great country. Tune in. This will be the beginning of something long. I know it's going to be a long process. I know it's going to be a journey for me. I'm ready. And then I was telling my daughter, I was like, my goodness, the little bit of friends that I had two people that was left, right? And I just recently got my number changed. I got my number changed 3 days ago. And the reason is because this journey that I'm taking, the two people that I had in my life, and I don't know, and I think he watching, because I did give him my channel years ago. But when we be talking, he be acting like he don't know nothing about it. I had gave my channel for something. I think I wanted him to watch my first fake BBL video, because he used to be one of those guys, right, that wanted, but he, paralyzed now, in wheelchair bound. But we've been friends for 20 plus years, right? And I gave him my channel, but he just be, when he talked to me, he be trying to act like he don't know what's going on, but I think he do, because when I be like, we gotta hang out, it's getting warm, let's go somewhere, he like stop, he didn't answer my this before I got my number changed, right? He didn't respond, right? And I was like, wait a minute, that's not like him. And I was like, oh yeah, I did give him my channel, and I think he'd be watching from afar. But the two people that I was talking to, and it was just on the phone, you know, and he was one of them. I just stopped talking to him because I know this, I don't want them to, and again, it was only on phone. And if we would have went out that day when I was like, come on, let's hang out, and he act like whatever, but he act like he was busy and couldn't do it. And I was like, oh yeah. And I was thinking, I said, that's not like him, because he normally be ready, like front and center when I call, right? But I think I did give him my channel, and I think he still got my channel all those years ago. And if he is, hi, you know, whenever you want to, if he's watching, whenever you think about me, think about the video, the song I sent you by Patti LaBelle, You Are My Friend. That's L's song. Think about that. That was like the last song I sent to him before I got my number changed. But yeah, the two people I was talking to just over the phone, close, you know, was just like cordial friends, long-term friends. I didn't tell him, and I just feel like I just rather, and y'all know the people that I don't talk to no more, that I stopped talking to when this first started happening, and don't even know, you know, what's going on. At least I don't think. But yeah, this is just going to be a journey for me, and I know it's going to be, you know, a long journey, but it's going to be worth it. And long DC trips is you know, but I just want everybody to join me April 30th so y'all can hear my journey, hear it's going to be big. It's going to be big. April 30th. I want y'all to tune in at noontime. All right, guys, I'm getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to run into my favorite store and get my niece some, she wants some ice cream. And I'm watching that fight tonight. Shadeja better win. Shadeja better win. I cannot wait. I cannot